This is going to be a massive week in Pokemon GO. A fan favorite Pokemon is finally going to be making its debut, and we're getting the absolute best community day of the year during this week. I'm going to be talking about all of this in today's video. Let's get right into it. Alright, what's happening everyone? Count Jinsula here with a brand new Pokemon GO video. I hope your day is going really well, and let's get right into it. So let's talk about what's going to be happening within Pokemon GO during this week. This is of course the week right after the final live in-person Pokemon GO Fest, which is of course the one that was in Paris. And the next one is going to be the global event, which is going to be the next weekend. But this weekend is still going to be pretty big because we're going to be getting a community day featuring the Pokemon GO. And we're also going to be getting an event this week, which is going to be around the Pokemon Yamper, which is a fan favorite Pokemon that a lot of players have been waiting to make its Pokemon GO debut. So overall, it's going to be a massive week and full of a lot of really good content. Let's start this off by talking about the Yamper's Paw Prints event. The Yamper's Paw Prints event is going to be a relatively short event. It's going to be happening between June 20th at 12 o'clock a.m. local time until June 22nd at 11:59 p.m. local time. The debuted Pokemon is of course going to be Yamper and its evolved form Boltund. You can get Boltund by evolving Yamper for 50 Yamper candy. It's going to be very simple, there's no evolution requirement aside from candies, which of course is a huge plus for Pokemon GO players, especially if it turns out that Boltund is a really good Pokemon for PvP or raid battles. Now during this event we're going to get the following event bonuses. You're going to be able to get 2 times the amount of Stardust for catching Pokemon, and you're going to have an increased chance to encounter Shiny Snowball, Shiny Poochyena, and Shiny Furfrou. There's also going to be event-themed field research task rewards, and my guess is that there are going to be field research tasks that will reward Yamper, so that could be a great way for you to get high IVs of this Pokemon. And of course, there's going to be a paid timed research ticket, which, if you purchase it, you're going to be able to get 4 Incense, 6,000 Stardust, as well as encounters with event-themed Pokemon, including Snubbull, Poochyena, Rockruff, Yamper, and more. Now, during this event, we're going to get the following wild encounters, and you guessed it, it's all going to be dog Pokemon. First and foremost, you're going to be able to see Growlithe, Snubbull, Houndour, Poochyena, Electrike, Lillipup, Furfrou, and Fidough, and then as an uncommon spawn, you're going to see Hisuian Growlithe, as well as the new Pokemon Yamper. Yep, that's right, Yamper is going to be spawning in the wild. It's not going to be locked behind any kind of paywall, which is a really huge plus for this event. And then finally, there's going to be a timed research, which is actually going to change up based on the day. On June 20th, you're going to have a timed research that's going to give you encounters with Poochyena, as well as 3,000 experience and 1,500 Stardust. And then on June 21st, they're going to switch it up to Furfrou with the same rewards of 3,000 experience and 1,500 Stardust. And then finally, on June 22nd, it's going to feature Snubbull, and you're going to get 3,000 experience and 1,500 Stardust on top of it. This timed research is actually very interesting because it seems like it could be 3 separate timed researches based on the day, but it could also just be one long field research where the rewards are going to switch up from Poochyena to Furfrou to Snubbull. I really do not know how it's going to go down, but my guess is it's going to be 3 separate timed researches. So make sure you're playing every single day during this event so that you do not miss out on these bonuses. Now, as I mentioned before, the Yamper's Paw Prints event is not the only major event happening this week. We are also going to be getting GO Community Day. It's going to be happening this weekend, and let's go over the details for this particular event. GO Community Day is going to be happening on Saturday, June 21st from 2 o'clock p.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. local time. The featured Pokemon is of course going to be the pseudo-legendary Pokemon GO. It's going to be spawning in the wild in droves during this event, and you're going to have an increased shiny chance. Now, any GO that you fully evolve into Como-O is going to learn the charge attack Clanging Scales. This is going to be a very hard-hitting charge attack that's going to make this Pokemon incredibly useful, especially when it comes to raid battles as well as PvP. Now, there's going to be a paid special research ticket, which if you purchase it, you're going to get tasks that's going to reward you with encounters with Jangmo-O with a special background, as well as a variety of different items. So this is always something that I say that if you have the extra money, it's always worth it buying these special research tickets, because when it comes to community days, they tend to give you just a little bit more value than any other ticket. So I will say that you should purchase this ticket. It's definitely worth it if you can afford it. Now, we're also going to have field research tasks that are going to be specialized to this event during this community day. You're going to have Jangmo-O encounters when you complete them. You're also going to get Stardust and Great Balls. So if you want to stock up on Great Balls and you happen to have a lot of Pokestops around you, make sure you're completing those field research tasks along the way, because you might end up with a high IV shiny of Jangmo-O. And then finally, there's going to be a timed research after this community day ends, where you're going to have encounters with Jangmo-O with a special background. But it is a limited timed research with some time gating, so make sure you're playing every single day after this community day ends. Now, let's finally go over the event bonuses during this community day. It's going to be one that's going to give you a 3x catch experience bonus, a double catch candy bonus, double the chance to get candy XL from catches, and then of course, lure modules and incense are going to last for 3 hours, and this excludes the daily adventure incense. You're also going to get additional Jangmo-O spawns when you take snapshots, and you're going to have one additional special trade along with a 50% trade Stardust discount. And this is something you do need to keep in mind, is that this is going to be happening with the start of the new season, where there already is a bonus for an additional special trade. So I believe with this particular community day bonus, that's going to give you up to about 3 special trades for this particular event. If you want to roll the dice and try to get yourself a high IV Jangmo-O, then this is definitely going to be a great opportunity for you to do exactly that. But of course, if your aim is to get a high IV shiny of Jangmo-O, then do not worry about it too much, because we are of course going to be getting bottle caps in the game really soon, and you're going to have an opportunity to actually increase the IVs of your Pokemon with that new item. And I do believe that it will require some money spending. So essentially, you could just try to get yourself a shiny or a shundo with this event, and it's probably going to involve any kind of IV callouts from a local community. But I really do think that this is going to be one of those community days where you're going to feel a lot less pressure to get yourself high IV shinies. There are definitely methods for getting high IV shinies that a lot of players utilize, some of which are not legitimate and others that are just completely through gameplay. My biggest suggestion is that you complete as many field research tasks as you possibly can, because that is probably one of the best ways you can get yourself a high IV shiny without having to do a lucky trade. Next up, let's talk about the weekly content, starting with this Tuesday Spotlight Hour. It's going to be happening this Tuesday, June 17, from 6 o'clock p.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. local time, and the featured Pokemon is going to be none other than Solosis with a 2x transfer candy bonus. This is actually a pretty decent bonus if you're looking to get a whole bunch of candies for legendaries, because if you're holding on to a whole bunch of legendaries, let's say a whole bunch of Zacian and Zamazentas from Pokemon Go Fest, then this will be a great time for you to transfer them so you can pick up some extra candies for those legendaries. Next up, let's talk about the raiding content. So in 5-star raids, we're going to have Kyogre in raid battles throughout the entire week. This is a pretty decent legendary Pokemon to get, but do keep in mind that you will not get the Primal Reversion Energy for Kyogre, and you will not get its move Origin Pulse. Those are what makes Kyogre a top tier Pokemon, but if you're looking to get a perfect IV, then it may not necessarily hurt to raid Kyogres. It's still a really decent Pokemon, and it's definitely worth using your elite charge TMs to get Origin Pulse. Now, let's also talk about this week's raid hour. It's of course going to feature the Pokemon Kyogre. It's a great opportunity for you to get a whole bunch of raids done in a short period of time. If you do not want to spend a whole bunch of raid passes throughout the week, but you want to do at least a good amount of Kyogre raids, then at least make sure you do not skip out on this Wednesday's raid hour. Now, in terms of what else is going to be spawning in raid battles, we are of course going to get Mega Manectric in Mega Evolution raids. It's one of the best electric type Mega Evolutions that you can get. So if you do not have yourself a really good electric type Mega Evolution, then make sure you do a couple of these raids so that you can get the Mega Energy. And then on the weekends, we're going to have Shadow Registeel in 5-star Shadow Legendary raids. It's a pretty decent Shadow Legendary, so if you still do not have one, or if you want the shiny version, then make sure you get a couple of friends together and raid this Shadow Legendary boss on the weekend. Next up, let's talk about the Dynamax content. So tonight for Max Monday, we're going to have Dynamax Hatena in Dynamax battles. It's actually not necessarily that important to get, but if you do not have this particular Dynamax Pokemon, then make sure you do a couple of these Dynamax battles. It's essentially free side content, so you might as well just get it done. And then finally, let's talk about the Go Battle League. So what's going to be active in the Go Battle League is going to be the Open Ultra League along with the Fossil Cup Great League Edition. That's going to be until this Tuesday, June 17th. And then afterwards, we're going to have the Open Master League along with the Summer Cup Ultra League Edition. If you have any good teams for any of these leagues, it may not hurt to get a couple of battles done, because during this week when we have the Open Master League as well as the Summer Cup, you're going to get 4 times the amount of Stardust from win rewards, which is definitely a substantial amount of Stardust for you to get. So yeah, overall, I'm really excited about this week. I think it's full of a lot of really great stuff for us to do, and I'm also really excited at the introduction of Yamper. It's certainly one of my own personal favorite Pokemon, mainly because I'm a huge dog lover, and then on top of that, this Jangmo-O Community Day is one that pretty much all of us have been waiting for. It's definitely going to be a solid Community Day Pokemon with a lot of really good bonuses. You absolutely do not want to miss out on it. But with all that said, that's going to be it for this video. Let me know your thoughts regarding everything that's going to be happening this week down below. Is there something in particular that you are looking forward to? Definitely share what that is, and let's have a great discussion. Thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of this video. If you ended up enjoying it, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if it's your first time here, and don't forget that notification bell so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos. Real quick, let me give a shout out to all of my patrons on Patreon. You make this channel content possible. If you want to support the Content channel, the best way you could do that is going to be by joining my Patreon. If you become a paid Patreon member, I'm going to add you to my Pokemon Go friends list. That means for stuff like remote raids in the friendship system, opening and sending gifts. If you want to play Pokemon Go with me, then make sure you go and check out my Patreon. And if you want to support my channel in a completely different way, you're always welcome to do so by following me on social media. My handle is @Jinsula. I'm on the platforms you see on the bottom of your screen. Make sure you go over there and give me a follow, and you'll have access to some exclusive content, and you'll be able to keep up with my daily life. With all that said, that's going to be it for this video. I'm Jinsula. Be safe, have fun, love yourself today, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.